you ever felt ignored during a conversation, undervalued at work, or simply like your opinions weren't being taken seriously? It's a frustrating experience, isn't it? But don't worry, you're not alone. Respect is a fundamental part of life, yet many people go through most of their lives without receiving the respect they truly deserve. Why does this happen? Because they don't know how to genuinely earn it. In this video, I'll share some ways to gain respect from anyone. Make sure to watch until the end, as the final point could be the most crucial one. Earn respect with strength. Respect is something you earn through action and presence. It's not something you ask or beg for. Some may disagree with this, but that's because they don't fully understand what it means. I'm not saying you need to be intimidating or aggressive to gain respect. Let me illustrate this with an example. You might be familiar with the anime Naruto. Even if you're not, I'll give you a quick overview. The story follows Naruto, a boy who lives in the Hidden Leaf Village. Inside him resides the spirit of the Nine-Tails Fox, a powerful and dangerous entity. Because of this, and his apparent lack of talent, Naruto is often treated poorly by the villagers. He faces insults, judgmental stares, and even physical hostility. On top of that, he lives in isolation. Despite this, Naruto set his sights on becoming the leader of the village. His goal was to earn the recognition and respect of the villagers by proving his worth. With this dream driving him, he embarked on missions, grew stronger, and defeated adversaries no one believed he could overcome. He even saved the village from destruction. Over time, the villagers began to respect him, to the point where they pretended they had never mistreated him. And if you've seen the series, you already know how his story ends. Of course, I'm not suggesting that you need to fight enemies or risk your life constantly, but if you want to be respected, you have to assert yourself in the world. You do this by excelling at what you do, and becoming so skilled and influential that people have no choice but to respect you. Think of a businessman who consistently fails. A person like that can't demand respect from others. Now imagine that same individual rising above his competitors and leading his team to remarkable success. Suddenly, everyone respects him, even the rivals he outperformed. They might not like him, but they are forced to recognize his achievements. You may have heard of the show Shark Tank, where wealthy entrepreneurs invest in smaller businesses. In 2013, entrepreneur Jamie Siminoff appeared on the show with his company Doorbot. The product was a doorbell equipped with a video camera that connects to smartphones, allowing homeowners to see and communicate with visitors at their door. None of the investors on the show chose to back Jamie's company. However, a few years later, the company was acquired by Amazon. Today, Jamie is a multimillionaire and even became one of the panelists on the same show where he was once rejected. The investors didn't respect him back then, but now they have no choice but to acknowledge his success. Avoid over-apologizing. This doesn't mean you should never apologize. When you've done something wrong, especially if it affects someone else, it's essential to acknowledge your mistake and say sorry. But if you don't truly feel regret, don't apologize. Doing so shows insecurity. Insecure people often try to avoid conflict, which is why they end up apologizing for everything. Here's the problem. If you constantly apologize for minor things or situations that don't warrant it, your apologies lose their meaning over time. And let's face it, people don't enjoy being around someone who's always saying sorry. Being honest and genuine reflects confidence. It shows you're not afraid to face challenges or deal with the consequences of your honesty. If you find yourself apologizing excessively, you might think you're coming across as polite and thoughtful, but in reality, it signals a lack of self-assurance. This can lead others to take advantage of you or even disrespect you. Claim your space. Some people might see this as assertive or even bold, but the truth is that everyone has the right to take up space. Claiming space is both a physical and psychological act. It means filling the area with your presence and being noticed. Unfortunately, many people hold back from doing this. They've been conditioned to shrink themselves, either because they've been taught to be small or because they grew up in environments where their voice didn't matter. The goal of claiming space isn't about dominating others. It's about signaling that you're comfortable being seen and confident in your presence. Stand tall with your chest forward and shoulders back. When you sit, avoid curling up or shrinking into yourself to make others more comfortable. Some may see this as selfish, but in reality, it's a sign of healthy confidence and strength. Being comfortable in your own skin naturally commands respect. Sustained power. People naturally respect those who exhibit power, but real lasting respect comes from power that is consistent. Temporary success or fleeting authority won't leave the same impact as power built and maintained over time. Consistency requires discipline, the commitment to learn, grow, and refine yourself continually. Power can take many forms: influencing others, physical fitness, financial success, or excelling in any field. The more you cultivate and sustain this power, the more others will respect you. Respect yourself. This is the most important thing if you want to be respected. The way you treat yourself sets the standard for how others will treat you. It's a simple but profound truth. If you consistently belittle or undervalue yourself, others are likely to follow suit. On the other hand, when you hold yourself in high regard, people will naturally recognize and mirror that respect. Imagine this. If you constantly joke about your own abilities or dismiss your achievements, you're sending a message, not just to others, but to yourself, that you're not worthy of being taken seriously. The way you present yourself both verbally and non-verbally communicates how much you value yourself. If you treat yourself like a joke, it's only natural for others to treat you the same way. At its core, self-respect is about living in alignment with your values. It requires clarity about what you truly stand for. Ask yourself, what are the principles that matter most to me? What do I believe in and why? How do I want to live my life in a way that reflects these beliefs? When you take the time to reflect on these questions and consistently act in ways that honor your values, you begin to build a solid foundation of self-respect. This isn't just about grand gestures or major life decisions. It's in the small everyday actions where your values come to life. For example, if integrity is one of your core values, follow through on your promises even when it's inconvenient. If kindness is important to you, practice it not just with others, but also with yourself. Living according to your values not only strengthens your self-respect, but also makes you appear grounded and authentic. In a world where it's easy to be swayed by the opinions of others, staying true to yourself is an act of courage. People will always have their own ideas about how you should live, what choices you should make, or who you should be. While feedback and constructive criticism are valuable, they should never lead you to compromise your core beliefs or pretend to be someone you're not. Authenticity is one of the most powerful ways to earn respect from both yourself and others. When you live authentically, you're sending a clear message. I know who I am, and I'm not afraid to be that person. This confidence is magnetic. Even if people don't always agree with you, they'll respect your honesty and self-assurance. Respecting yourself also means setting boundaries. It's about knowing your limits and being willing to say no when necessary. Whether it's in relationships, at work, or in social situations, boundaries protect your time, energy, and mental well-being. They show others that you value yourself enough not to let them take advantage of you. If someone consistently disrespects you or crosses a line, it's important to address the behavior. Politely but firmly, let them know what's acceptable and what isn't. By standing up for yourself, you reinforce your self-respect and teach others to respect you in return. Another crucial aspect of self-respect is the way you talk to yourself. Pay attention to your internal dialogue. Do you frequently criticize yourself, call yourself names, or focus only on your flaws? If so, it's time to change the narrative. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you'd offer to a close friend. Replace harsh self-criticism with constructive thoughts. For example, instead of saying, "I'm terrible at this," try, "I'm still learning and I'll get better with practice." Cultivating a positive inner voice not only boosts your confidence, but also strengthens your ability to face challenges with resilience. Finally, respecting yourself means recognizing and celebrating your inherent worth. You are valuable simply because you exist, not because of what you achieve or how others perceive you. Remind yourself of your strengths and accomplishments, no matter how small they may seem. Take pride in who you are and don't be afraid to acknowledge your successes. When you value yourself, you radiate a sense of self-worth that others can't help but notice and respect. Respecting yourself is the foundation for earning respect from others. It's about aligning your actions with your values, staying true to yourself, setting boundaries, and fostering a positive relationship with yourself. When you treat yourself with dignity and care, you send a powerful message: I am worthy of respect. And when others see that you believe in your own worth, they will naturally respect you too.